What's up, everybody? Ryco here. You know what? Today, we're going to locals. That's right. And we're bringing Ritual Beast, the deck that is pretty easy to misplay with, but overall, it's a solid deck choice. With that, you know what? Let's just jump right into the deck profile. This deck is super complex, and although I have learned some combos, I'm still not 100% familiar with it. However, I've definitely learned enough to be able to play it at a local level, so that's what we're gonna do today. But before we jump right into the deck profile, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and like the video as well, as it helps a bunch. Thank you all so much, and let's just jump right in. Starting off with the main deck, of course, we've got 3 Cannahawk. This card is absolutely insane. One of the older cards, but the release of the new support, this card becomes a 1-card combo essentially. Very powerful, very good. You're always maxing out on 3. Another card you're always maxing out on is Ritual Beast Rampengu. This is a pseudo Cannahawk where rather than banishing, you're dumping, and you're also banishing as well, but from the extra deck. Still very, very good. One of the best spiritual beasts in your deck. Definitely want to max out on him. And then the most custom card in the archetype, of course, is the new spiritual beast Tamer Lara. This card is absurd. There are 4 really, really good things about this card that just make this deck really, really well. It's both a spiritual beast and a tamer. It has a Return of the Dragon Lords effect, so where it can protect your spiritual beast from battle or card effect by banishing itself. When this card is banished, it can special summon one from the deck, and then you can also discard this card to gain an additional normal summon for your ritual beasts from hand. So yeah, 4 really good effects that really raise the power ceiling of this deck overall. And then of course, we are playing 3 Elder. This card is phenomenal. Please never ever imperm this. The second they normal summon it, similar to Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, it just happens. So again, never imperm this. It's important not to. So those are all the 3 ofs for the really good Ritual Beast and Spiritual Beast. Going into more of the 1-ofs, we've got Tamer Lara. She's necessary for combo, but also just comes up sometimes. We are playing the 1 Zamframpilica. A lot of people have been cutting this for the Dolphin, and although the Dolphin can come up, it's not really totally necessary, and having this just for follow-up or for certain combo lines as well is very important. And it can also come up to where when it goes to the extra deck, you can banish this with Rampengu because it's a Ritual Beast in your extra deck. So overall, really solid, and I definitely would recommend playing this over the Dolphin. I am playing the Wen as well, very crucial for the combo, very good, special from the banish. We're playing the 1 Winda, of course. This is pretty standard. Same with the Apelia. This is also a spiritual beast and a tamer. That's essentially why you play her, but on destruction she can also float into any ritual beast monster from your deck or extra. So if you notice, this is 1600 attack, so something you can do is normal summon this versus an SP Little Knight, crash into it, and special the link. It doesn't really come up too often, but it's nice knowing that that's an option. And that's it for the Ritual Beasts and Spiritual Beasts. Going into some other 1-ofs for the monsters, we are of course playing the Nemesis package with the Corridor and the Protoss. These cards are just too good not to run. Protoss is Protoss. I don't know what else to say. It's a turn skip, but it's also a phenomenal board breaker. It can just lock in games for you. It's very, very good. Flag of Court searches it. Corridor is good because it can just add to your end board. Also, if you're going first and you don't really know what you're playing against, it could be good to go for Colossus rather than blind calling with Protoss as well. But overall, if you're still not the most experienced with this deck either, playing these 3 cards definitely help a lot. It makes it to where the deck becomes a little more forgiving. And then of course we're playing the best monster in the game, and that is Dimension Shifter. Yeah, not much to say here. If this card is at 3, we're gonna play it at 3, even though it should be banned. And something cool about this is if you draw Shifter with Rampengu, it actually makes your combos better because Rampengu doesn't dump as cost, so you can just banish one from the extra deck and then banish one from the main deck. So it's like a Cannahawk. And then going into some of the non-engined, we've got Triple Book of Eclipse. This card is especially good in this deck because not only is it good going first and second, but you can also dodge things like Imperm or Veiler by flipping your guys face down. You can also dodge Nib, by the way, or make your board less susceptible to Nib. And then what's cool is you can still contact fuse with face down monsters because of the whole fusion mechanic. So overall, it's not the best in the format, but it's definitely too good in this deck not to run. We're also playing 2 talents. This card is just phenomenal, this format. There's so many people, even if they're not playing hand trap, this card comes up as just a board breaker, and it has 3 banned effects. You know, I can't really go into much detail about this because we all know how broken this card is at this point. This is just a really good format for talent. And then we're also playing triple imperm. This is a pseudo board breaker, but also can act like a hand trap. It's a good 6 card to draw. It doesn't trigger talents or thrust. Granted, it's not the best versus Mimighoul, so if you're expecting a lot of Mimighoul, you may want to play something else. It's a really solid card this format, so I've opted to playing it. And then going for some of the more consistency cards, we have 3 Inheritance and 2 Prosperity. Now, I know some people are choosing to play 3 Prosperity and 2 Inheritance, but Prosperity is something you really don't want to draw in multiples in this deck, and it's good to see, especially post-siding. So you don't want to just play 1, you don't want to play none, because it's still really good to see. And playing 3 is just a little too much, whereas with Inheritance, it's got other effects on it as well, which can come up, especially the one where you change the battle position of a monster. That can come up versus 10 Pi. The attack reduction of your opponent's monster comes up as well. Overall, I'd rather have an Inheritance in my hand with a random Ritual Beast than just Prosperity and show my opponent my deck and then help him know where to hand trap better. So I don't know. Overall, Pot of Prosperity at 2 and Inheritance at 3 is something I'm really liking, and I wouldn't really change the ratios. And then of course we are also playing 3 E-Telly. The Tamers are Psychic. E-Telly is really good in that case. It's a really good extender. Also, the Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara, the new one, is also a Psychic. So at worst, like for example, because it's banished during the end phase, you can set this, and then if your opponent doesn't kill you, you can special Ritual Beast Tamer Lara, and then during the end phase it'll be banished, and then the banish will get you afloat into a Ritual Beast. Overall, E-Telly is really, really good. Sometimes you do side out one, but it's just too good not to run. And then the 40th and 41st card in this deck is 1 Steeds, and then 1 Azurun. I don't really see a lot of people on the Rabbit and Ritual Beast, but I think that's incorrect. With Mulch Army floating around so much now, and a lot of people also main decking it now, being able to just go into the Rabbit is very, very crucial, because this deck normal summons a lot. You can normal summon upwards of 4 times in a turn, so having a backup plan so you don't just give your opponent infinite draws into Mulch Army is very powerful. It also comes up where if your opponent's hand trapping you a lot, just being able to just summon the Rabbit and set the Azurun, it gives you 2 more interruptions. It's just overall powerful. Also, being able to summon Rabbit after you call Dark, or if you're gonna Dark Lock your opponent with Protos, the Rabbit is light, so you can still summon that and still get plenty of interruption off of that. So yeah, that's the main deck, 41 cards. It's very consistent overall, and I'm really liking the build so far. Again, the Dolphin doesn't really come up too often, but you can definitely side it or main deck it if you think it's coming up for you. Going on to the extra deck with the Ritual Beast cards. Of course, we've got the 1 Ulti Kimon Falcos. It's a very, very, very good card, and yeah, we're also playing the Ulti Ruritari. I know some people are either playing 2 of this or 2 of this, but honestly, 1 of each is okay. Kimon Falcos can tag itself out to put itself back in the extra deck to float out 2 more. And Ruritari, because we are playing the 1 Pendulum Tamer, we can just reborn this back if it gets outed, or if it gets banished, we can also bring it back with the Nochi Drago. So overall, it's not the worst to play 1-in-1, but if you want to play more, you definitely can. It's just the extra deck is a bit tight in this build because of course we are playing the Rabbit. And then for the fusions, we've got the 1 Ulti Apelio. This sometimes come up if you just need a big beater to swing with, but it also comes up because of course with Ranpangu you can banish this and dump the Apelio from deck. We are playing the 1 Gaia Apelio. This card is absurd. Being able to make this and just have a non-once per turn Omni negate is very powerful. That's right, this is not once per turn. So if your opponent summons this versus you and they have multiple cards in hand, they can probably have multiple banishes or negate. So it's very, very good. And then of course we are playing the 2 Nochi Trago. This card is absurd. One of the reasons why this deck is so good as well. Being able to contact fuse from the grave is incredible for this deck. You don't really need to play 3 because this does recycle itself. This is also a light, so if you need to Protoss Lock and you can't get to the Rabbit and you need to call light, you can just call light with this. Also, this makes your other Ritual Beast, not itself, but your other ones, untargetable by your opponent's card effects. So if you can just summon this out and combo freely, it's very, very powerful, especially since we're in such a targeting heavy format. And then of course, the best fusion monster in the extra deck, we've got the 2 Cannahawk. Cannahawk, it's not once per turn. It dodges hand traps. What can I say? This is the heart and soul of the deck. We don't play 3 Cannahawk overall because again, the extra deck is pretty tight, and because it loops itself, you don't really go, you don't miss the 3rd one. With certain combos, you will go through a Cannahawk, and so having that 2nd one does come up. So honestly, this is the perfect number for Cannahawk. You don't need more, you shouldn't have less. And that's it for the Ritual Beast monsters. Moving forward to the Link monsters. We've got the one Link Spider. Of course, Link Spider is very important because people are playing Nibiru again. And so long as people are playing Nibiru, you need to be able to convert that token into an effect monster. So you can go into either the rabbit or you can just easily Link climb up. Of course, we are playing the rabbit. What can I say? This rabbit's fantastic. We did cut IP Masquerena from this list because you're not really making it too often. And if you're dark locking, IP doesn't really come up that much anyways. And I'm finding a lot more value with rabbit than I do IP Masquerena because IP Masquerena plays harder into Imperm, Droplet, Dark Ruler. It plays into your opponent special summoning Fenrir and threatening the battle phase. There's just so many ways IP Masquerena can be countered right now. Ending on the rabbit and putting some interruption in your back row just makes your board less susceptible to board breakers, essentially. We are still playing the Little Knight. Card is just too good not to play, and at worst you can just end on her rather than an IP Masquerena. What can I say? We also cut the Appaloosa. A lot of the times you're going to be ending on the Link for Protoss and Rabbit with the steeds in the back, so a lot of the times you're not really going into Appaloosa. Because we're not playing IP Masquerena to make Appaloosa on the opponent's turn, it just made sense to cut Appaloosa, and the cards we are playing instead of the IP and the Appaloosa are the Nightmare Unicorn and the Access Code Talker. You just want to close out game as much as possible. You can summon a bunch of bodies on board pretty easily with this deck, and being able to just have Nightmare Unicorn spin back any random card and then Access Code for game, Contact Fuse out of Noche Draco, you're usually in a good spot. Yeah, I'm really liking these cards right now. I was playing Zelantis, but I would argue Access Code as Talker is better than Zelantis right now, especially since you're not really locking yourself to do Zelantis cheese. But yeah, this is a very, very solid extra deck piece to have, being able to just OTK with Unicorn Access Code. And then the last two extra deck monsters, we are playing the one Banshee and the one Colossus. Banshee, of course, searches you flag. You can also search a Paleo, fun fact, but it doesn't really come up. You're mainly searching flag. And then Colossus, of course, for the corridor, just adds to your end board, makes your end board a little more broken. And then going in for the side deck, this is what I'm choosing to run. Again, side decks are flexible depending on where you're playing at. If you're playing at a locals, if you're playing at a regional, ICS, whatever it may be, adjust based on what you think you're going to play against. This is what I've been finding out to be pretty successful so far. We are, of course, playing Triple Dogwood. This card's better than Max C when there's less than 5 minutes on the clock. Also, you can just side this in earlier as well, even if there's like 10 or 15 minutes on the clock. If you're going against an opponent who you know is going to be comboing for a while, like a Yubel player or a Snake Eye player, you could just put this in and it'll essentially guarantee you another turn if you can't really set up a board through their board. Very strong, very powerful. This card should probably be banned because, again, it's not as powerful as Maxi in a vacuum, but in the right circumstance, for example, when there's less than 5 minutes on the clock, it's definitely better. We're also playing Triple Molcharmy Perulia. This card is excellent. I absolutely love this card, and this card can also be used under Shifter as well. Unfortunately, if you draw Shifter while under Molcharmy, because you have Molcharmy in the grave, you can't Shifter. So there are some people playing Phantasme, and you could consider Phantasme instead of Perulia, but I believe Perulia is just way more generic, and it's just really, really good. Being able to just stop or punish your opponent for playing the game normally and forcing your opponent to end on a suboptimal board simply because you're threatening to draw into your board breakers or anything else, really, your engine. This card is just too good not to run. So I will definitely be siding 3 of this until the new Molcharmy comes out, and then I might just side both of them. We'll see when we get there. We are playing 2 D-Fisher. Your deck's already really good at going first, so you don't really need to add too much to that when you're going first, but this card is excellent in so many ways. Not only is it just, again, it's like a dimension shifter, it's D-Fisher, you know? Every single monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. But something else that's really cool about this is this protects you versus Ogre and Droll. Both of those cards have to be sent to the graveyard, so if you activate this, you can essentially combo freely without being stopped by those 2 hand trap, which is why I choose to run D-Fisher over Other Flip. And then for more going second cards, we've got Triple Dark Ruler. You just want equalizers in this deck. And then we've also got Triple Evenly. You just want a single card that can blow out your opponent so you can just normal summon twice and full combo from there. These are just excellent blowouts, this format. Even though some people are playing the Desiree to be able to negate Dark Roar and negate evenly, I still think it's very important to run these. And because we are playing Molcharmy, we are playing Prosperity, we're playing so many ways to see multiples of these, where even if your opponent puts up a way to negate one of them, they probably won't be able to negate more than one. So if you draw multiples, you're definitely in a good spot. And again, if you can just simplify the game state as much as possible, definitely going to do well, because you'll be able to build a board and then you can just Protoss lock them because you know what they're playing. And then the last card in the side deck, we are playing the one Gadaga Cowboy. We do have the Dogwood for time, but for going first, because we make a rank 4 in our combo, being able to just summon a Cowboy, go for game that way is good as well. And let's say your opponent tries to imperm this or Veiler this, well, because we're playing Book of Eclipse, we can just flip it face down after using the effect. So overall, very, very solid, very powerful. And that's the deck profile. And with that, let's jump into the first match from locals.
All right.
Let's misplay for the viewers.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Higher low. 7. 6 sutures. I will start off. No shit. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I'll activate Lara to normal. A normal Lara.
Yeah.
I'll use Lara to target Lara.
It's a special summon. Hell yeah.
Anything else?
Nothing good.
Contact views.
Sounds good.
Effective Lara to special.
That's fine.
Effective cannon to banish one. Effects targeting these two. Chain. Targeting these two. So these will special, these will go to grave, and then I'll search.
Alright.
Vector Impact. I also only play one of the Link 4 and one
Is it
of
because
the
it's like super easy to just recycle it back into the okay, that makes sense.
with the Nemesis card specifically. But,
Nope.
I don't really go into this too often.
Even though it's Omni.
Yeah. Because I have to have cards in hand
To make the Omni,
Wait, I special. I already specialed it
Oh,
already.
you already specialed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my misplay.
There's misplay number 1, guys. You're gonna be seeing a lot of those.
You can't target any of my other Ritual Beast monsters. Just this, and then this can tag itself out to target just one Ritual Beast in special.
I like this deck because it came out during the same format as Shadal and Necros, and people don't realize it. They're just like, oh, did this just come out? It's like, no.
Yeah, I remember those times.
It's just, it was so overshadowed by Shadal.
I still had to deal with a lot of anti-meta players for me back in the day. And man, did they love Kaiser Coliseum and fucking skill drain on their ass.
Not to mention the Necros players. Because every time I would normal Manju, somebody would think. Unfortunately, the Yu-Gi-Oh community complains about literally anything.
We'll take for a run.
Listen, man, we could talk about this.
Listen, man.
Yeah, let's put more Ritual Beasts in that manage.
Okay. Normal.
On normal.
Yes.
Do you have anything like that triggers on the normal?
No.
Can I read?
Yeah.
Because this is like a ignition, right?
Yeah.
Discard one card spell. I'll use Steeds to pop it.
Chain Slumber Protected.
I'll chain, targeting to banishment.
Yeah, you got it. Alright. I had to be able to pitch.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah. If I was able to pitch that, I would have kept it.
Yeah. Ice Barrier is such a good card in that card. Were you liking the deck so far?
I'm loving the deck, yeah. If you have the right hand, the extension is just ridiculous.
And the decks it puts up, or the boards it puts up is
Yeah.
pretty nuts.
No, yeah, like Toad, Croc, Dragon, Lance, yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there like, oh man.
Good luck.
Not to mention I'm running the barrier section for sure. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it. So I'm guessing you're going first. Yeah.
Correct.
Draw a phase.
You're gonna laugh so hard right now. You
Called
got
by?
it. You got it. Yeah, I can't play. I can't believe I drew into both. That's like baffling to me.
And I had ways to dodge targeting.
No, wow, that's so funny. That's so funny. I literally needed any normal summon. That's so funny. Yeah, I need her. That's so funny. Yeah, you got it. No worries. You wanna just, like, play
Shifter is a card. Drop it.
Of course. Turn, drop it on my main, I'm on the shifter.
You can kaiju this, you just can't activate something like Nib. You can, because Nib tributes as effect, not as cost. Whereas this, you can't tribute to activate a card. Oh baby, you're playing Paleo today.
Pass turn.
Yeah. In end phase, I'll use the effect targeting this one to banish both. Oh! Okay.
Yeah, it's less worse.
Drop return.
Yep.
Effect to add back Canahawk to engaging additional.
I have an effect when it's destroyed. No. Thinking on this.
Strike! Yeah, I'll protect the door from destruction. And I'll use Log's effect as special rent. I'll activate Util.
Sure.
I'll go Protoss Collar.
Yeah. Boy, actually, yeah.
You're like, wait a second.
Declaring? Yeah, declaring.
Yeah, declare light.
That's fine.
Go to attack.
Yep.
Battle.
That's game.
Alright.
That was the only card I needed is like stat.
Oh, so I hit the right one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a first.
Are you sure?
only 5 minutes.
Good luck, bud.
Nah, they should do it as 6.
Oh, Ariel Eater, right?
Ash.
Nope.
That's fine.
Alright, sick. Other rock.
Let's see what it is. Okay, it's right there.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Drop return.
Yeah.
Battle phase.
Battle phase.
Can't protect
What?
versus that.
Battle phase. Dang it. That's fine. I can do it.
End of battle.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Main kit.
Yeah.
I'll activate inheritance.
Yes.
I'll attempt to use effect. Revealing Room Penguin.
Yes.
Search Elder? No, this card won't. My guy's dead. I'll roll normal Elder. Anything?
I wish.
Okay.
If I am burn, you still get the normal summon.
Exact, you know. I'll normal Red Penguin.
On summon.
Hey yo. Listen, man, we could talk about this.
We can talk about this. How can we talk about this?
Card hurts.
I think we found a card that hurts the deck. The one up. The one rivalry.
Big think.
Ryan saw the card and went,
He evening me. What can I not do?
this is true. He did even imagine. He does deserve this. Don't you, Ryan?
Ryan, comment. Yeah, Ryan, commentary. You know, I was winning, playing a fair game, and this guy decided to be a jerk and open up a rivalry on me, and that made me big sad. That made me big sad.
Rivalry is fine.
Which one to send though?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Dang.
Yes.
Pass you.
Chalk turn. Wow, chalk face got my main.
Yep.
Back to this. Your turn.
A few moments later.
One. That takes 16. 2,000.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
32.
On attack.
Much later.
16.
Targeting the continuous stretch.
This one?
Yeah.
If I chain it, will I still get the MST?
Will you still get the what?
MST. Because it'll be 7. So then it'll be 5. No. You want to call it? Yeah.
Ryan.
Judge! Because I will chain here. So he goes chain 1 Lord, targeting my trap, right? I chain 2 to special.
Wait.
This will send it.
Wait, so he's using Judgment right now?
No.
Chain 1 Lord.
Oh, Lord,
Chain
yeah.
1 Lord. Chain 2 this to special. This will this will resolve special sling. That will resolve sending this.
Yep.
Will this trigger to pop? It's last seconds.
It will miss timing, I think. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. That's why.
No, because it never fully resolved the special. Because
It's special, but then it was sent immediately.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad, yeah.
That's what I'm
he'll
not
get
sure.
Yeah, he'll get the destroyed. He's asking because he's
'Cause I know in-
he used Ellis to get rid of a back row trap monster. He's
I didn't think of a
chained
precedent.
it, special summon the trap monster. Resolution of summon the monster doesn't get the power.
Whose QCR is this?
Of course it's
This card battles a monster. Neither can be traded.
Yeah, Ryan, I think you got this time anyway, but I want it's time, but
This card is link summon. You can set one continuous trap.
it's time, but I don't want
What's life right now? Are you down? But this is actually like something I want.
Okay, so activates the ability to pop, and then what happened? What was the change?
So chain 1, targeting the trap.
Okay.
Chain 2, trap. Trap resolves, special summon. This resolves, sending this. Will this trigger on resolution?
Oh, because it was special. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, but it wasn't on fields by the time that could.
Then no.
I miss his time.
It misses time.
Yeah, I know.